Hello, my dear children. How are you all? So, hope you're all doing good at your home. So, today, let us start a new lesson, which is the third lesson in your textbook, page number 45. Page number 45. The lesson name is Gentleman of Rio and Medio. Gentleman of Rio and Medio. It is written by Juan A. Cedillo. It is written by Juan A. Cedillo. The name of the lesson is Gentleman of Rio and Medio. Okay, so let us look into the writer's background. Juan A. Cedillo, born on 1902 in Rio and Medio. He is a lawyer. This entire story is all about a legal case which was handled by Juan A. Cedillo. He himself handled the legal case. So that is what he is going to narrate a story. What had happened, who is the gentleman of Rio and Medio, what is Rio and Medio and where it is located, what had happened to gentlemen. All these things we are going to discuss in today's class. So page number 45, open page number 45 all of you. So Gentlemen of Rio and Medio. What is the meaning of gentleman? Gentle means soft, isn't it? Gentle means soft. The person who is soft spoken, very good at heart is called a gentleman. Very polite, okay, is called gentleman of Rio and Medio. So Rio and Medio is a place. Okay, it is a name of a place which is located in New Mexico. Okay, where is New Mexico? It is in United States of America. So where is the story happened, children? The story has happened in United States of America, New Mexico. The particular place name is Rio and Medio. Understanding so far? So this story is all about a gentleman who is very polite, very good at heart. The story had happened in Rio and Medio, where United States of America. Correct. So now in this particular lesson, we are going to discuss, or the entire story revolves around 4 characters. The first character is storyteller. The person who is telling the or narrating the story here is the first character. Who is that? Juan A. Cedillo, the writer himself narrating a story, and he was a lawyer. Okay. So he was having his own he used to handle legal cases. He was having his own office. Okay. Second one, old man. Okay. Old man, name was Anselmo. Anselmo. Old man name was Anselmo. Here the names are very little bit difficult. Okay. So after the explanation you will get to know. Okay, so after telling or after writing many times, you will get to know, you will be used to it. Okay, so the old man is none other than Gentleman of Rio and Medio. He was the person who was very polite, very good at heart, and he was very old man. Okay, his name was Anselmo. Third one, Americans. Americans, they are the buyers. Buyers means ಕೊಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳುವವರು. So what they bought actually? Buy, bought. Understanding? Buy na past tense bought ಆಗತ್ತೆ. So this old man sold his property to these Americans. That is the reason these Americans bought old man's property. Are you all getting connected what I am saying? Okay, so he sold his 8 acres of land. This old man was having 8 acres of land and he wanted to sell it to these Americans. So that is the reason Americans will become buyers of the land. The third character in the story. The fourth one is dark young man. dark young man. So in America you will see the person who is very fair, by looking he's very fair, and half of the Americans are dark in color, isn't it? You might have seen in pictures, and cricket men also you might have seen, isn't it? So what happens, this dark young man, always he used to accompany this old man and dark young man, they were always be with amongst them, understanding. So dark young man was old man's relative. Okay, so he was always giving accompanied with old man. ಅವನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವನು ಇರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ. Since he was very old, he used to be with old man. So understanding so far, these are the four characters that we are going to discuss in this story. So let us see, let us discuss what had happened in the story. So let me read. So you have to put your finger, page number 45, Gentleman of Rio and Medio. It is written by Juan A.A. Cedillo. So I'm going to read now. It took months of negotiation to come to an understanding with the old man. He was in no hurry. What he had the most of was time. He lived up in Rio and Medio, where his people had been for hundreds of years. He tilled the same land they had tilled. His house was small and wretched, but quaint. The little creek ran through his land. His orchard was gnarled and beautiful. So, I'm going to explain stanza by stanza. So, what happened? It took months of negotiation. Negotiation, you can see in the glossary they had given the meaning of this word. Official discussion. So, negotiation. Negotiation. Official discussion. Official discussion means if you want to sell something or you wanted to buy something, there should be official discussion. Officially someone should sign on that agreement, isn't it? So it took months of negotiation to come to an understanding with the old man. This old man was not ready to, he was not in hurry actually. So he was unhurried, he was not in hurry to sell his property. What he had the most of was ಟೈಮ್. ತುಂಬ ಹಿಂದಿಂದ ಅವನು ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಆ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನು ಅವನು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದ. ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಸೆಲ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಇಟ್ ಟುಕ್ 1 month of negotiation, 1 month of negotiation to come to an understanding with this old man. This old man was very slow and he was not in hurry to sell his property to these Americans. That is the reason this person spent more than 1 month of negotiation, official discussion with this old man. Finally, old man agreed. What he had the most of was time. He lived up in Rio and Medio. Who was that? He means old man was lived up. He was living in a place called Rio and Medio. As I have explained, Rio and Medio is a name of a place in New Mexico, United States of America, isn't it? So Rio and Medio, where his people had been for hundreds of years, he tilled the same land had tilled. In the sense, his ancestors, in the sense ಪಾರಂಪರಿಕವಾಗಿ ಆದಿ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಅವರ ಹಿರಿಯವರು ಆ ನೆಲವನ್ನ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಆ ನೆಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು. ಅದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಅದೇ ನೆಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು he tilled means plowed. So tilled in the sense plowed, ಉಳುವುದು. ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನ ಉಳುಮೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ನೋಡಿದಿರಲ್ವಾ ನೀವು, ಉಳುವುದು. ಆ ನೆಲವನ್ನ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ವ್ಯವಸಾಯವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಟಿಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್. ಹಿಸ್ ಹೌಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ wretched but quaint. Wretched means unpleasant, not at all clean. His house was very small. Imagine, children, Understanding? So when I'm going to explain, you have to imagine that situation. It is not only a story, you are going to learn so many things. There are so many moral things that you have to observe in this lesson. Understanding? So by seeing you can say it had happened in America and Indians are very different, Americans are very different. No, people are people. And always in any of your lesson, why they had given these kind of lesson is you have to learn one or the other moral from a lesson. That is the reason they had given this lesson. Understanding? So you have to keep your finger when I'm reading the lesson. You have to make a note of the hard words and underline those hard words. Write many times. Okay. He tilled, plot the same land they had tilled. His house was very small. How was his house? Was very small. Wretched in the sense unpleasant. In the glossary they had given, wretched means unpleasant, not at all clean, very, very dirty. But quaint. Quaint means old fashioned house. Old fashioned house. You can see Kuvempu's house in Kuppalli. You might have visited that particular place. Kuppalli, Kuvempu's house. Is it? It is very, very old fashioned house, but it is very, very attractive and very beautiful. Isn't it? They have renovated the old house. Isn't it? That is the reason it looks very attractive and beautiful. So quaint means old fashioned but ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾರ್ದು? Whose house it was? It was old man's house. The little creek ran through his land. His house was there. The little creek in the sense creek, ಹಳ್ಳ, ಸಣ್ಣ ತೊರೆ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಹಳ್ಳ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಹರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹತ್ರ, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಹತ್ರ, ತೋಟದ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಅ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಕ್ರೀಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಳ್ಳ, ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ರಿವರ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ರಿವರ್. ಸೊ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ his orchard was glad and beautiful. Orchard means a place of land in which fruit trees are grown. Which fruit trees are grown. So you can say it is a garden or mango grows. So lot of trees, okay, so which will bear fruits. ಹಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಬಿಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ಅವನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ, ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದ. ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದ. ಹೌ ವಾಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಹೌಸ್? ಹಿಸ್ ಹೌಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ರಿಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ but it was very quaint. So see, you can observe here, all these words are example for an adjective. You all know what is adjective? It is one of the parts of speech. So what is adjective? Can you remember your before grammar class? So adjective is a describing word. Adjective is a describing word. What it is describing here? It is describing the noun. Noun means naming word. ನಾಮಪದ, ಒಂದು ಹೆಸರು, ಮನೆ ಹೆಸರು, ಒಬ್ಬ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗನ ಹೆಸರು, ಹುಡುಗಿಯ ಹೆಸರು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಹೆಸರು, ರಿವರ್ ಹೆಸರು. Isn't it? So ಹೆಸರು, ನಾಮಪದ, ನೇಮಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಡ್, ನೌನ್. Isn't it? ಆ noun ಅನ್ನ describe ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು? Adjective. Here, why am I telling this adjective? Why am I going to explain adjective is, house is a noun. ಮನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೆಸರು ಅಲ್ವಾ? So how was that house? House is a very small house. It is rich but quaint. ತುಂಬಾ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ರಿಚ್. ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು? ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ clean and it was unpleasant. So here, by giving these kind of words, writer is explaining or describing the house. How is the house? House is a very small house. It is rich but it is very quaint. These are the words are very, very main example for the good example for adjective. Rich house. A boy, a tall boy. He is a boy. I can understand by saying he is a boy. ಅವನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ. How was the boy? The very tall boy, very tall young man, very thin boy, very fat boy, a very big house. So here describing the noun are called adjective. Okay, you may get questions on this in grammar part. Okay, so moving on to the next, he was having orchard means garden, the trees who's bearing lot of flowers. ತುಂಬಾ ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರಗಳು ಇತ್ತು. ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು ಮರಗಳು? Glad and beautiful. Orchard means, orchard ಅಂದ್ರೆ a piece of land which fruit trees are grown. Glad means branch of a tree, a very very old tree and very huge gigantic trees were having lot of branches, and those branches were twisted. Branches were twisted and they grown very awkwardly. ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಹೇಗ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಹಬ್ಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು, ಆ ತರ ಮರಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ವು. ಸೊ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಜ್, ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 46, second stanza. The day of the sale he came into the office. Who came into the office? The old man, for the official discussion or to sign on that agreement. After 1 month, finally this old man agreed and he came to the office. Whose office? Uwan A.A. Sedilo, he was the lawyer, isn't it? So he came to his office. In the second stanza, writer is going to describe how old man was, what kind of costume he was wearing, how was the person he is, all those things he is going to explain. He came into the office, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. How was he looking? How was his appearance? ಹೇಗಿದೆ? His coat was old, green and faded. Again they are using adjective. It is an example for adjective. Coat, noun. Okay, describing the coat. How was the coat? It is green in color, very old and faded. Faded, lost its color, lost its color. I thought of Senator Catron. I thought of, I means who is he? Writer. Who's the writer? Sedilo is the writer. He thought of Senator Catron. Senator, Senate. Senator means member of a Senate. Member of a Senate. So in India we say minister of cabinet ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ನ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ USA, ಸೆನೇಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್, ಸೆನೇಟರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸೆನೆಟ್, ಸದನದ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ರಿಯೋ ಇನ್ ಮೆಡಿಯೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹೂ ವಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್. ಸೆನೇಟರ್ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್. ಹೌ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಶಾಸಕರುಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆನೇಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಥಾಮಸ್ ಬೆಂಟನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್. ಹಿಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ವಾಸ್ ಥಾಮಸ್ ಬೆಂಟನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್ ಅಂತ. Who has been such a power with these people up there in the mountains. ಆ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇವನ ಮನೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಮನೆ, ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೆನೇಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್, ಥಾಮಸ್ ಸೆನೇಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನೇ ಬಂದೇನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋಟ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಎಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೆಡಿಲೋ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಅವರೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೇನೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವನು ಕೋಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಆಫೀಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಿ ಗಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ ಆಫೀಸ್. ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ ಆಫೀಸ್. ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಮುಂದೆ? Perhaps it was one of his old Prince Albert's. Prince Albert's is a name of a court. Underline that. Prince Albert's is a name of a court. ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ನ ಹೆಸರು. Okay, ಈಗ ನೀವು when you wanted to buy clothes you go for brand, isn't it? Similarly, so a brand ಅಲ್ಲಿ Prince Albert brand ಅದು coat that he was wearing. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ ದಿ ನೀ, ಮೊಣಕಾಲಿನವರೆಗೂ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕೋಟ್ ನ ಅವನು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಿ ವೋರ್ ಗ್ಲೋಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 47, he is the old man who who is wearing coat as well as gloves and holding a stick. Can you see this? All as well as he's wearing a hat. So this is his appearance. He wore gloves. How was the gloves? How were the gloves? They were old and torn. They were old and torn. Torn means what? Torn. Torn. Tear. Torn. Tear ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಟು ಸಪರೇಟ್, ಹರಿಯೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಬಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನ ಟೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹರಿಯುವುದು. ಟಾರ್ನ್. ಟೇರ್ಗೆ ಟರ್ನ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್? ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಟೇರ್ ಹರಿಯುವುದು, ಟಾರ್ನ್ ಹರಿದಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು ಗ್ಲೌಸ್, ಅವನು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಕೈಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು? ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಗ್ಲೌಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟಾರ್ನ್, ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಿಸ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಶೋನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ಅವನ ಬೆರಳುಗಳ ತುದಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಡ್ಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಿಂಗರ್. ಎಡ್ಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಶೋನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಗ್ಲೌಸ್. ಆ ಗ್ಲೌಸ್ ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಅವನ ಏನು ಬೆರಳುಗಳ ತುದಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಹರಿದೋಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಳೆಯದಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗ್ಲೌಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅವನು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ he carried a cane. He carried a cane, ಒಂದು stick. Cane means stick. Underline that word. Cane means stick. Carried, ಅವನು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಚಿತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. But it was only the skeleton of worn out umbrella. Underline worn out means damaged umbrella. ಅಂಬ್ರೆಲಾವನ್ನ ಈ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಹೌ ಅಂಬ್ರೆಲಾ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಅಂಬ್ರೆಲಾ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಹೀಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅಂಬ್ರೆಲದ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ನ ಅವನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಟು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅವನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾರು? ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್, ಹೂ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಕೇನ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದಿ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಆಫ್ worn out umbrella. So behind him walked one of his innumerable kin, a dark young man with eyes like a gazelle. Here comes dark young man role. So old man entered. So he was wearing old gloves, carrying a cane, okay, wearing a hat, as well as the gloves was very old. His fingertips were visible through the gloves. Behind him, behind ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ಹಿಂದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅವನ ಹಿಂದೆ ಯಾರು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು? ಇನ್ಯೂಮರಬಲ್ ಕಿನ್. ಕಿನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಲೇಷನ್, ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ದಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ಕಿನ್, ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್. ಅವನ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ. ಇವನು ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಯಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಕಪ್ಪುಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಯಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ ಹಿಂದೆ. ಹೌ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್? ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಒಬಿಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ಲಿ. ಒಬಿಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ತುಂಬಾ ವಿಧೇಯತೆಯಿಂದ, ತುಂಬಾ ಪೊಲೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ತುಂಬಾ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ವಿಧೇಯತೆಯಿಂದ ಅವನು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೂ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ಯಾರು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ? ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಯಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಐಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಲ್. ಗ್ಯಾಸಲ್, ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ದಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ಗ್ಯಾಸಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹರಿಣ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಿಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡೀರ್. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡೀರ್, ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಜಿಂಕೆಯ ಜಾತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಸಣ್ಣ ಜಿಂಕೆ ಅದು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಐಸ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಉದ್ದದಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ಚಂದದಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಐಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಜಿಂಕೆಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಿಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಯಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಒಬಿಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. So far I have explained till the second stanza. So third stanza I'm going to explain in the next video. Okay, so we'll also do a sudden recap on whatever I told in this video. Fine. Thank you.